People will want to know which games were the greatest and in which category. And they'll raise their eyes to System Crash for the answers.
Greetings, stereotypes, it's Swinehouse here, and I'm back from the dead to provide a hierarchy of insecurity for you all. These days, gaming is mainstream and all that cool shit, and Hollywood cowers in fear of the money it loses every day because people would rather stay in and engage with their media directly. Still though, plenty of people still have misconceptions about hardcore gamers, even as they throw money at Clash of Clans or whatever consumes their evening. So, here are the 10 dumbest and most fallacious misconceptions non-gamers still have about gamers in 2015.
Number 10.
Gamers are unhealthy. Just like when television became a mainstay of every childhood, when gaming became a mainstream hobby, yes, hobby, of 80s and 90s kids the world over, those who feared what they couldn't understand assumed it must be bad for them. In reality, gaming is only equally, if not less sedentary a pastime as reading a book or watching a movie. And that still hasn't done any of us any wrong, has it?
Number 9.
Gamers are socially awkward. It's not the 80s anymore. Celebrity gamers like Charlie Brooker, Robin Williams, R.I.P., Megan Fox and Nathan Fillion have helped crowbar the world open to the idea that, yeah, everyone plays games. And besides, most of 21st century culture, hell, everything you're using to watch this was developed by so-called nerds. And YouTube has risen as far as it has, thanks in large part to geeks making it the place to talk about and display games. Just like I am now, and no, I can't fix your computer.
Number 8.
Games make people violent.
Jack Thompson, I'm coming for you, and when I find you, I'm gonna give you a
stern telling off because no, I'm not a violent man. I might go on the occasional violent rampage in Grand Theft Auto, or take pleasure in the slow-motion destruction of bones and organs in Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, but that's only because their core appeal lies in the fact that I would never do those things in real life. Your asinine attacks on video games like Grand Theft Auto not only harmed innocent game devs, but you made everyone who read them more ignorant for it. Nice legacy, hero.
Number 7.
All gamers are guys. Okay, so in the 90s, most gamer kids were guys and girl gamers were a rarity, and now, yeah, girl gamer stereotypes such as brazen bints using games to siphon money from the very gamers they snubbed in school are right. But if my past girlfriends are any example, gamer girls are out there enjoying great stories and engaging on every bit the same level as guys with our interactive art. Or just smashing demons to pieces. You know, whatever. Speaking of art though,
Number 6.
video games aren't art. Okay, so when people cried at the end of Shadow of the Colossus, or burned forever into their retinas the sight of Aeris' death in FF7, that wasn't a reaction to art? Sorry, Mrs. Williams from Year 11 art class, but anything made by anyone to expunge any part of themselves or elicit any reaction from anyone is demonstrably, if not quantifiably, art. It might not all be great art, but let's stand Journey up against that Venus de Milo made of actual shit and see which one makes us feel more. And if you don't agree, go and tell it to 4chan.
Number 5.
Video games make you stupid. There is no evidence, nor has there ever been, to suggest that games make you dumber. In fact, thanks to educational games like Brain Training and even Minecraft, we might beat this one. And that's without mentioning games like Project Evo that's being used to discover and diagnose Alzheimer's, or the now famous experiment that showed that playing Mario 64 for 30 minutes a day over 2 months can actually increase the brain's size and control over strategic planning, spatial awareness, and memory formation. So suck on that.
So suck on that!
Number 4.
Gamers have no friends. So yeah, MMO players have taken a lot of crap over the years for this one, but the most annoying stereotype is that sitting indoors all day makes you a loner. The clue's in the name with MMOs. One of those M's stands for multiplayer, genius. Plus, I know people who I couldn't know if I didn't play those games, and there are plenty of groups who've shared greater experiences organising and defeating the Lich King or running a heist that non-gamers will ever have just talking about football with their friends.
Number 3.
Video games are intrinsically addictive. Nothing is intrinsically addictive, it's just pleasurable. People don't get addicted to something straight away anyway, they have to do it a lot. Which they will if it makes them feel good. This is true of anything, from binge-watching Game of Thrones to alcohol, nicotine, sex, caffeine, or cocaine. Video games don't do half as much damage with no reward as most of those things either, so just shut up and stop being so pious.
Number 2.
Games are a waste of time. Oh, okay. So that sense of satisfaction a gamer gets from completing a project and fulfilling a story, or beating a difficult challenge that they completed by actively engaging their brain and reflexes, that's somehow a less valuable expenditure of time than the 3 to 4 hours per night that hypocritical naysayers spend binge-watching TV shows on Netflix, utterly passively? What you've just heard is a logical, critical comparison. No, you can't win. Just press play and shh.
Number 1.
Video games are for kids! Okay, so, most people who play games would readily agree that a strong inner child goes a long way to keeping your sense of wonder and imagination alive. But no, games are not just for kids. In fact, the tide has shifted so dramatically now that by far the majority of released games are made for teens and up. And before you go suggesting that that is in some way an indictment, may I remind you that most popular TV shows and movies that are released these days are no different. We've grown up with our favourite media, and the medium of gaming has grown up too. The people who make my games are more or less my own age, and while Mario is still very good, it's not going to get the same response from an adult as trying to keep a little girl safe in a subway tunnel full of deadly once-human abominations in a world so far gone it can never come back, now is it? Oh, and I'm sure you enjoyed Dora the Explorer as much as Breaking Bad, eh? Now, say my name. Okay, thanks for watching this video, everybody. If you liked it, please subscribe. Of course I'm going to say that. Why wouldn't I say that? It's almost a stereotype. You see what I did there? But yeah, please do actually subscribe. It helps us out a great deal. Like this video, talk about it. If you've got any arguments or you would just agree with me, then just please sound off in the comments. Or get your friends to. You know, whatever. If you've got any friends. Fucking gamer.